Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Is that true? Is that true, or is that a lie straight out the pit of hell? Welcome to the Word to the Wise. Come on, y'all, and let's pod about it. Oh yeah, welcome to another show here at Word to the Wise with the exclamation point. Yes, that's me, Terry Patrick, coming at you every single Wednesday, and we do it just like this here. Welcome, you guys. I know it's been a week, but boy, these weeks sure do go by fast, don't they? Man, the older you get, it's like it goes from Christmas to Easter to summer, and before you know it, it's back to Thanksgiving again. But here we are on another Wednesday, and you know why I do this here. Oh yeah, I do this for Pops and Fat Mama. So let's get it up to the funkiest show this side of the Pecos. Yeah, you're here on another episode of Word to the Wise, but I got something very important that I want to talk to you guys about. I'm talking about words, attitudes, and behaviors. Words, attitudes, and behaviors. And what does that have to do with you? Good question, cousins. Because I got a funny feeling that some of us say, you know what, words, they just roll right off my back. Doesn't mean a single thing to me. Or is there some of you that are just not being honest with yourself? How many of you guys can remember something that was said to you when you were a kid and you still wear it around? Words do hurt, yes, because they say sticks and stone can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But guess what? You break my bones, my bone will heal. I get a wound, and that can heal. Yes, like I said, we wear those scars, but those emotional scars, they carry much more weight. How powerful are your words? And how do you use them? How do you wield them? Because I'm here to tell you right now, when you put these three together, it should mean something to you. Words, attitudes, behaviors. The words that we use. And it's not just the words that we use, it's how we use them. I mean, you can say the same thing so many different ways. If I were to be a leader, yes, or manager or supervisor, and I come to you and I say, you know what, there's a better way that we can do that. Okay, you may think there's a better way. But if I come to you and I say, man, it's a better way to do that. What do you think? Or third one, if I come now, my goodness, well, there's a better way that we can do that. Same words, put a little attitude behind it, changes the meaning, right? We all have these things that we call pet peeves. And what a pet peeve is something that bothers who, cousins? Who does it bother? It bothers you. Everyone doesn't know everything that bothers you. Yes, and sometimes it's certain words that bother people. You know, I'm going to step outside of my usual repertoire and I'm going to use the word bitch. You can call certain women that and they take it as a term of endearment. Oh yeah, you my ride or die. Yeah, you my down since day one. Called the wrong woman that. And now your words just caused an attitude. Does it not? Think about it. Words, attitudes, and behaviors go a long way back. And it's a great guy who wrote a really, really great book, Lead for God's Sakes. So that book, it breaks it down. I've read that book a couple times. I suggest that you read it too. The thing about it is, when I'm talking about the words, because I know that the words, when you combine them together with that attitude, man, it is. You ever met someone who just has a funky, bad attitude, and everything that they say is like, pessimistic. Everything that they say is always dragging people down. They love dirty laundry. And the more that I look at today's society, especially those keyboard killers, those social media warriors who can sit in the comfort of their own home and proselytize, and they can come up with all these rude and angry and disrespectful things to say. They would not never say that to your face. If you were in an elevator with them, all you would get is a hello, or maybe staring straight ahead, looking at the door. Won't say anything to you. But when they're at home, whoo, boy, they can let you have it with their words. I think back on my childhood, and my father was a loving, kind soul, and so was my mom. But I want to tell you a little something about my grandfather. Daddy John is what we called him. Daddy John. He wore the same clothes year round. It's just in the summertime he wore short sleeves. He wore the fedora with the dress shirt, suspenders, rocking the khakis, and the shoes that we used to call them biscuits. Yeah, but they was like steel-toed black work boots looking, but they were low cut. He wore them black shoes and his khakis and his dress shirt and suspenders, rocking the fedora, and boy, he could break you down with his words. He used to call me and my sister, you little red monkeys. Yes, he used to mess our names up and everything else. Daddy John had a way with words that was, I learned in leadership, if you speak to people like that, because he was old school, doesn't excuse his behavior, does it? But he was old school. He just had a way of just spitting blue flame. I learned every curse word early in life. Yes, my grandfather had a large vocabulary when it comes to profanity. And I'm telling you right now, he offered no sugar with his casserole. Yeah, you're going to get it, and you're going to get it good. That's the type of childhood that I grew up in. I grew up in a childhood where words were used as a weapon. Do you use your words as a weapon? Do you have a tendency to break people down? Because see, for every yin, there's a yang. For every up, there's a down. For every day, there's a night. And for every positive, there's a negative. So if you could turn that around and reverse the polarity, could you not turn that into positivity? Yes, you could. If you choose to. I think we got a message coming. I think we got a point to make right here, cousin. If you choose to, which brings me to attitude. Do you have one? Do you have an attitude? I do. Yes, I do. I spend a lot of time trying to quell that attitude. I'm working on me, y'all. I'm working on me. Yes, I am. And I'm not a perfect person, but I strive for perfection. And you know what? Through the grace of God, I know sometimes I fall short, but I still keep reaching. I have an attitude, and I'm pretty sure that many of y'all have one too. Yes, you do. And see, what happens with an attitude, you wind up following people that are like-minded as you. Yes, my grandmother used to say, Eveline. Yeah, my grandma, we call her Big Mama. Not to be confused with my mama, Fat Mama, but Big Mama used to say, show me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you everything you do. Woo! What you say? She said, show me who you hang out with, and I'll tell you everything that you do. What do you do, cousins? Because If you don't do the same things as your concentric circle, as the people that you hang around with, pretty soon you guys start to part ways. I'm going to tell you right now, people who love cars, love to hang out with car people. They want to be places where they're working on cars. They want to be places where people are showing off their cars and proud of their cars and put in a lot of money and time and effort and love into their vehicles. That's where car lovers like to go, where there's a place that has a love of cars. Musicians like to be around other musicians and listen to music and play music and rehearse music and talk about music, anything and everything that has to do with music. That's where they are, just like dancers. I'm not talking about a professional dancer. I'm just talking about somebody that like to cut the bug every now and then, get out there and just trip the light fantastic and get on the dance floor. They want to be at a place where there's some music playing so they can get on the floor and shake their hips and snap their fingers and have a wonderful time. That's what dancers love. They like hanging out at those spots. And liars hang out with liars. Weed smokers hang out with weed smokers. Yes, they do. And thieves? Thieves like to hang out with other thieves. You know this to be true. Show me who you hang out with and I'll tell you everything that you do. And because, see, if you don't do the same things that they do, then they don't want you around, man. You cramping their style. So if you want to be positive, maybe you should expand your circle. Start hanging out with somebody who are positive. If you want greatness, start hanging out with those who are achieving greatness. If you want to be an entrepreneur, hang out with those that are, in business. Learn the ins and the outs of the business. Hang out with them. But see, when you come, you can't bring them old words and old attitudes into this new circle. Because if you come bad-mouthing what they are doing, they don't want you around. Why should they? Everybody's trying to do something a little bit better. And if you are not, then why aren't you? You only got one life to live. And if you just learn one new thing every single day, hear me out, cousins, one new thing, that's it. And it doesn't have to be something earth-shaking, groundbreaking, revolutionary. One thing that you did not know yesterday, then how much powerful and stronger would you be? At the end of the year, and you are 365 times stronger than where you were last year. Muhammad Ali once said, if you view the world the same at the age 40 that you did at 19, you just wasted 21 years. Change the type of words that you use. Well, I don't know how to do that. Read, okay? Don't use words that you don't know the meaning of. Research. You got an encyclopedia and a dictionary in your pocket in the form of a smartphone. You have an entire internet and web base with just mountains and tons of information. What do you want new? Tons of information. What do you want new? Because it's your behavior that can separate you from the rest. I've said this before, you know what? And I think it bears saying again. Tell me this. If there are two people up for the same job, and they both got the same work history, they both got the same education, or even lack thereof, had a piss poor, dirty, low-down attitude like I'm a sabotage whoever get this promotion over me. If they get the job and I don't, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that person is not successful. Guess what? Who you think they're going to get a job to? And if they don't give it to you, and you go on that ill mission, you think the corporation is not going to remember you the next time there's an opening? Oh yeah, cousins. Corporate America doesn't forget. And sometimes your name and your behavior precedes you. It gets to the meeting before you do. How do you improve your behavior? By working on your words, working on your attitude. Watch your concentric circle. Tell me if you heard of this old saying, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, those are the same ilk, the same type. They like to hang out with each other. So I want you to do yourself a quick favor. Just as a self-serving litmus test. This is homework, but believe me, I'm not flying out to your city and checking your homework. No, I'm not. I'm just a podcaster trying to do the best I can with what I have. Take a look at those that are surrounding you. Do they make you better? Do you have some that don't? Okay? Because I always say that, when I tell people, especially someone who's coming into the job market, they may be a new hire and they are coming in with this, they are full of piss and vinegar. Man, they are on fire. They're feeling great, feeling ambitious. Week 1. Week 2 starts to feel normal, don't it? Week 3. By the week 4, you start seeing some people ready to go. You start seeing some people start to withdraw from everybody. Why is that? I tell them on the first day why. So when it happens to them, they'll know exactly why it is happening. Here it is. Here's the answer. You brought that old job with you. Yeah. You have a history of leaving places of employment. It was always somebody else's fault too. It was never yours. Sometimes it was their fault, but was it always? Always, cousin? Come on, cousins crew. Let's tell the truth here, but just don't lie to yourself. Don't do that. Was it something that happened that you were in control of? I tell them, you know what? See, you come to a new job, and when you do, you got a golden opportunity to make a difference between a job and a career. Everybody has to start somewhere. You start right where you are. You use what you have. I believe it was Les Brown that said, an expert at anything used to be a beginner. Yeah, they started off somewhere. So when you get in, don't have that starter's mentality. Start looking around. This is where I want to go up to. But when you start saying, you know what? Boy, the way that you guys trained me, we didn't do it like that on my old job. We didn't do it like that over there. This is how you guys do it over here. Man, on my old job, we did it totally different. Why are you not still there? For some reason, you didn't want to be there no more, did you? You left. Or they told you to get on and kick rocks. They told you to leave, or you left on your own. Wherever the case may be, you're here now. It all started with an idea, did it not? And the idea popped into your head. That idea created a series of events. What is the idea is, I want better. I want something else. I'm sick of this. I can't do this no more. You found yourself sitting in a car on a Monday morning, just looking at that front door like, I don't even want to go in there right now. You start feeling in your solar plex right here on Sunday night. Weekend isn't even over yet, and you think about, man, I got to go back to that place again. I got to go back to that job. And then an idea popped into your head. I'm going to start putting in some applications. and you did the right thing. You didn't leave the job until you found another job. So you start putting in applications online, and then somebody called you. Somebody replied to your email or gave you a text message. Somebody got back with you and said, we want you to come on down, and you showed up. Somebody told you, you know what, you're doing great so far. Well, we like this. We want to have an interview, and you showed up. We want to give you a drug test. You passed it. And then they said, we want you to come to orientation. And here you sit again. You showed up. You keep showing up for your life, good things start happening. But guess what you do after about a week or two? You start thinking about that old job that you hated. What's changed? What's the difference between this place and that place? You can be the change. Or what's the same between this place and that place? You. Wherever you go, you take you with you, don't you? Don't you, cousins? Yes, it's a very ambiguous thing that you have found yourself in, to where you bring that old you with the old words and the old attitude to the new job. Here comes the behavior. That's where that behavior comes in. Yeah, some people say, well, it's just the way I am, man. I'm just built like this. I've always been like this. You know what? It's not working. You have to change yourself. You have to reinvent yourself sometimes. And sometimes you gotta swallow that pride, that gumption, that feeling that, you know what, it's the world out to get me. If it wasn't for the whole, bruh, this world ain't going nowhere. You will leave this world before the world leaves. So what you gonna do? Here's a certain behavior. People who antagonize other people, you know, it's a bad behavior. Here's another one, snapping at people. Quick-tempered. Do your temper get you in trouble a lot of times? Here's a third behavior, stubborn. Nobody can tell you nothing, can't even tell you the truth, right? Pops, my dad used to tell me, man, you can tell a lie 1,000 different ways, but the truth keeps sounding the same. People don't say the same thing about you over and over and over and over for years and years and years. It's got to be an inkling of truth in there somewhere, but you're stubborn. These are character traits. Uh-oh. Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Character traits. That's what these three things amount to. Words, attitudes, and behavior. It is your character. Does your character betray your goals? If so, I think it's a good time for you to just listen to this podcast and do a little homework on yourself. This is what I want you to do. I want you to list down all the things that bother you, your pet peeves, right? And then on the other side of the paper, I want you to list the things that you do well and you are grateful for. Which list is longer. Everything that bothers you. Because people don't know what your pet peeves are. Because it bothers you. One of my pet peeves is people who half do things. You know, sweep the trash right up to the trash can, throw the broom down. You couldn't get the dustpan. Sometimes the dustpan is attached to the broom. You couldn't put it in there and dump it. You couldn't finish the job. You gotta half do it like that. Another one that bothers me is people that smack their food and make the yummy sound, you know. Just eat your food. Just enjoy it, okay? Everybody don't need you, the whole theatrics and the sound show. It bothers me. I could be sitting next to 2 or 3 people. They aren't bothered in the least. It's bothering me that you are smacking. When someone enacts your pet peeve, you only got two choices. Be honest with you, only two. And what are those two choices? You can either say something about it or remove yourself from the situation. Body language. Not just words, attitude, and behavior, your body. If I have my veins coming out my neck and my fists are clenching, I put one foot back and I get into a fighting stance and I say to you, can you please doing that? Whoa, he's the problem, HR. We saw him stand up and just yelling in the lunchroom. They didn't see him smacking. They don't care. It's on you. If you can change a little, little things turn into big things. Yes. It's all the little foxes that ruin the vineyard. It's the little things. What little things get to you, make that list. Learn one new thing. Improve your vocabulary. Know that if you got an attitude, at least tell yourself the truth that you got one, and then your behavior will slowly evolve. And all these things add up to your character, cousins. Oh man, I thank you guys. I really appreciate each and every last one of you guys for coming over here one more time, man, on Word to the Wise. Right here with good old Cousin Terry. Hey, Cousin Crew. I feel like once more that here on this Wednesday, we got together and we made a kindred spirit. I feel like we go way back, like fat crayons and Hot Wheel tracks, baby. Like droopy diapers and Similac. Yes, I feel like we go way back like slave ship voyages and auction blocks, way before pushing Cadillacs and before pushing rocks. But I want you guys to have a great time. Hey, we got Juneteenth that is coming up. We got a lot of things. Be sure to watch my summer series, my barbecue series where I'm talking about the summer cookouts. I got something good coming up for you guys, man. I did the top 5 hot sauces. I think I'm going to do something else. Coming to a computer monitor or a TV screen or a cell phone near you. Yes, but in the meantime and in the tween time, I want to know if you guys can do me a quick little favor.
I hope you like the podcast and you really like the podcast.
Come on, be serious.
And you really like my podcast. Like and subscribe.